Hey there! My name's Sarah Queen and welcome to my channel. Today we will be discussing my previous ACL injury. I hope you enjoy this video today and I hope it brings some insight to you if you are a dancer that has experienced this and is either post-op or pre-op surgery. If you enjoy talking about various subjects that people don't typically talk about, then subscribe to my channel because I talk about lots of different things. Yeah, so just subscribe to my channel because I got the tea. So my injury happened last year, so 2019 in June. I was in the middle of filming a video with my team and I really don't know what I did because it was a dance move that I had done a million times and it was really easy and a really simple step, and I guess my body just forgot to move my foot quick enough, and I heard this really loud pop, but I didn't feel anything. And then I was in the middle of moving, I was in the middle of dancing, and my foot came down and made contact with the ground, and immediately my body was like, that's not happening. And so I went down to the ground and I cried. And it didn't, like I said, it didn't hurt. It was me. I think it was more of the shock of anything. And I knew something bad had happened. Like I knew I had hurt myself. That it wasn't just like, oh, haha, like I ran into a wall and now I have a bump. Like, no, it's like I knew I was really injured. From there, I ended up going to an urgent care and they said that it was just a sprain and that it should get better in a couple of weeks. A couple of weeks went by and I still wasn't able to bend my knee, like at all. I wasn't able to bend it. And I ended up having to schedule an appointment to go see a doctor. So I scheduled an appointment and they gave me a referral to go get a scan of my knee. And when I finally got the results, it said that I had torn my ACL. As somebody who had devoted myself to dancing, I had never been injured because of it. So I was really shocked. I had no idea what to do. I spent a lot of time crying because I was really scared. I was like, am I not gonna be able to dance anymore? What's gonna happen? So do remember I did look up on YouTube and Instagram trying to find dancers that have this injury. On YouTube, every person that I found scared me. They made me think that this is something that was horrible and it was gonna be painful, and they really scared me by what they were saying, that they made me feel like this was gonna be such a scary, awful process. And the reason I wanted to make this video today is to let you guys know that it's not that scary. Before my surgery, I was still dancing, I was still performing. I would do the dances to accommodate for what I could do. So I couldn't go to the ground. If I would have to be like center or hiding behind somebody if there was a floor part. And I was always really careful about just the way I was moving. Every time I would dance, I would wrap up my knee. I would wear an ace bandage and a knee brace when I was performing. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, Sarah, you're so dumb. Like, you should have stopped dancing. You could have torn your meniscus also. You could have done more damage. Thankfully, I didn't do that, but it's a very real possibility. It was something that very well could have happened. The day of the surgery, I woke up really early. So my partner and I Ubered there, and I remember I was so scared. Like, even the day before, I was crying, I was so nervous. I have had surgeries before, but I was so young that I don't remember having those surgeries. We Ubered there and I just remember listening to Infinite. So Infinite is a K-pop group under Woolim Entertainment, and they are like my safety blanket. Whenever anything is wrong in my life, I listen to them. When we got there, I had to fill out paperwork, and I feel so bad because I've been so mean to my partner because I was just so scared. I didn't know what to do. And yeah, I'm sorry, Zane. I love you. But they called me back, and as soon as I got through the doors, I started crying. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I've never had a surgery. And the nurse was like, you're gonna be fine, like it's okay. And I got into the room, so they gave me the gown, and it was like the pre-op room, so there were other people in the room. They just sectioned it off with curtains, and there was this cute little old man about to have surgery, and his wife was sitting there, and the wife could see that I was upset, so she was like smiling at me, trying to make me feel better. And I guess he had had lots of surgeries before, and he had this surgery that he was having now in particular already, so this is like a second one. And he was really calming me down because he was like, yeah, like let's just do this, like let's get this done. It's like, I can't wait to wake up and go home, I'm gonna go eat this, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, thank you for being here, like you're really helping me feel better. And they brought me the sock, so I had to put a sock on the opposite leg of the one that shouldn't be operated on. And then my anesthesiologist came in, and my doctor, they came in separately, and they initialed my leg. Like they literally initialed on my leg to be like, you approved, you're gonna have surgery on this knee. And it was weird to me because it's never happened before. Like I said, I never had a surgery, so I was like, y'all are signing on me, this is weird. So then I met all my nurses, and they brought me into the room, like they wheeled me in. The whole time I just remember staring up at the ceiling and just breathing. I was just like, just focus on your breathing, don't think about anything else. So they gave me, once I got into the room, I got from the moving bed onto like the operating bed, and the anesthesiologist gave me a numbing shot in my leg, and then they put the stuff to knock me out through the IV. And I guess I was laying on the cord, so it wasn't knocking me out, and the nurse was like, are you okay? Like, are you getting tired yet? And I'm like, like I'm not, And she was like, looking at the anesthesiologist, and he was like, oh, she's laying on the cord. And I was like, I'm about to die right now. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the surgery. And so I just stared at the lights at the ceiling, and then I knocked out. And then I woke up to a nurse going, Sarah, it's time to wake up. And I was like, I lived, I survived. I was actually really mad when I woke up because I was sleeping really peacefully, and since they made me be there at like 6 in the morning, I woke up at like 5 something, and then they woke me up again. I was so upset. My ride came, and she brought Zane and I home, and that was it. This was my journal. I decided to document my ACL surgery, like post-op. I didn't end up documenting every single day. It went pretty much a whole month after my surgery, I documented it. I'll just read you my entry from day 1. So on day 1, which was 10/16/19, I cried a lot. I was really scared. I'm still scared about the healing process, but as of now, the part that was the scariest to me is over. My leg was numb, and oh my goodness, do I hate the feeling of my legs and toes being asleep. I can hardly move my toes on my own. And anytime I need to go potty, Zane has to lift my leg for me. What does that say? I can't read my own writing. Oh, the cats. The cats are scared of the plasma flow leg wraps I have. It makes me sad because I just want to cuddle with them. Because of the numbing shot that the anesthesiologist had given to me, it made my leg completely numb. So my leg was starting to wake up a little bit, so I had a lot of tingling and like the pins and needles in my leg. So my partner had to actually physically lift my leg for me and put it onto the bed or onto the pillows or take it down so I can go to the bathroom. But I'll read my entry from day 2 as well. Day 2, there's a lot more pain. Anytime I move or shift, I have pain. The plasma flow thing. So the plasma flow, not everyone gets this, but my particular doctor, they gave me these wraps for my calves that just like move. It kind of like massages your leg a little bit, but it keeps the blood flowing so you don't get blood clots. Like, the plasma flow things aren't helping either. So because the numbing shot was wearing off and I had to have the plasma flow wraps on my calves, it was creating more pain, but ultimately it was better for me to have them on. I tried taking one step just to shift myself closer to the top of the bed, and I won't try that again today. My leg is definitely too weak. I kind of miss my leg being numb, but it's like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Actually, no, honestly, I think I prefer the pain since I really hate the numb feeling. It's really awful to me. And my inner thigh is twitching on and off today. So that was another symptom that I had. I had lots of twitching. On day 4, day 4 was the first day I showered. So you're not allowed to shower the first few days. I think it was because of the nerve blocker shot that I had, the thing that numbed my leg. For like the first 3 days, it's supposed to be in the system still. So by the 4th day, you're able to like take a shower. So I finally took a shower. My day 5 journal entry. So it can mess with your bowel movements, but day 5, I was good. On days 4 and 5, I was already so tired of being stuck in my apartment that I did go out. I went to a library and a coffee shop. So I went to a coffee shop on day 4 and the library on day 5. I felt comfortable enough to drive, and all I did was move my foot. My foot was not affected by the surgery at all, and I was safe to drive. So I ended up driving to the library and I did homework there. So my partner went back to work on day 8. So by day 8, I was by myself. I didn't have anybody else. I already at that point started going back to school. So I only took off 2 days of school. I took off the Wednesday that I had the surgery, and then the next day, Thursday. So my schedule was Monday through Thursday. And I took 3 weeks off of work. Probably should have taken more, to be completely honest, but after the 3 weeks was up, I came back and I was good to be working again. So 6 days in, I was already going back to school. So my school has lots of mountains and stuff. I figured out that there was a tram service that can take disabled students from point A to point B as needed. So that really came in handy for me, or else I don't know if I would have been able to make it to and from class. I started dancing again in December. So that is really early. My doctors and physical therapists were not happy with me, but my body was telling me that it was okay. Anytime I felt pain, anytime my knee swelled, I stopped. I still wasn't going to the floor, and I wasn't doing anything that would make me jump, that would make me move really fast. It was like just slow paced, easy movements, just allowing myself to get back into it again. It wasn't until, honestly, really recently, like March, that I started to dance fully again. Now that puts me, I'm about 6-7 months post-op at this point. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So this month is 7 months, 7 months post-op almost. And I don't swell anymore. My knee doesn't give out anymore. I was having some trouble here and there with it going out when I was walking, but it was only here and there. It stopped. I could have been better with my physical therapy, but I was really, really diligent with it. And and I just always listen to my body. I'm getting back into it. I'm feeling more comfortable doing different things like fast squats, or just even staying in a squat, or bending, like dropping to one knee. That's my cat. Dropping to one knee, which is typically my left knee that I'll put down, since it was my right knee that had the surgery. So I'm getting a lot more comfortable with different things like that, and I'm listening to my body before I do anything. I do have a long road to go. Like the front of my shin, I still don't have full feeling back into it. So I read that it takes like 3 months for you to get full feeling back if you're going to get it. My cat is playing with the toy, I'm sorry. If you're going to get full feeling back, I'm afraid that I'm not going to get full feeling back into my shin, which, I mean, that's okay. I mean, if somebody kicks me in it, then I don't really feel it, so that's good, right? And honestly, I do still have pain here and there, but I'm really good about listening to my body and listening to when it tells me I need to stop. I don't have any more swelling or anything. So I guess there's 3 different types of surgeries that you can get when you tear your ACL, like the reconstructive surgeries. Patella graft, hamstring graft, or donor tissue. So I guess the best one is the patella. That's the one that's most likely to stick the longest, to not have re-injuries, to not re-injure yourself with, it's like the least likely to get re-injured. The next would be the hamstring, and then the least successful one, the one that they almost never use for any athletes, is the donor graft. So after my surgery, I looked up all of that and I was like, oh. So my doctor only did 2 types of surgeries. He either did the hamstring or donor. So I guess that's my other cat. I guess he tried to use my hamstring, but he couldn't, so I ended up getting donor graft. Now, I'm very lucky that nothing so far has happened again. I just recommend to avoid that one if you plan to go back to if you're really physical active and you plan to go back to it. I would avoid the donor tissue as much as possible. However, like I said, the doctor did try to take my hamstring, but he couldn't. And what I'm having most issues with is my hamstring now. So it cramps up. Anytime I do lots of hamstring exercises, I get really bad cramps in it, and it gets really tight also, way tighter than my left leg, and it gets really uncomfortable. So that's what I have the most issues with now, but my knee is good. But I hope this video was helpful to anyone that is going to have a surgery, have an ACL surgery. I was very lucky to not have to have my meniscus worked on as well. My meniscus was fine, so I'm fortunate enough for that. If you did tear your ACL, I do recommend you don't dance and just have surgery as quickly as possible so you can heal and go through rehab and get back into whether it be dance or a different sport that you're doing as quickly as possible. And just know that this isn't the end of the world. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of your career if you're choosing to pursue a dance path. As for me, I was a dance major, and although I am still getting a degree in dance after my injury, I personally did decide to major in something else. So I will have an associate's degree in dance, but I will be getting a bachelor's degree and continuing my education with mass communications. I started dance later in life, and I was never sure or not if I could make a career out of dancing. And even though dancing is what I'm passionate about and what I love most, now that I have experienced this injury, I don't believe I have the capability to make a career out of it any longer. And it's a really sad realization for me, because I love dancing more than anything in the world, but I've made the choice to still do it and still see where it can take me, but to focus and try to make a career elsewhere. I hope that if you've been dancing your whole life and you have had this injury, that you don't give up on it. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the world for you, that it's the end of your dance career, because you can definitely do it. This was just a decision that I made based off of the factors in my life, and this is what feels right to me. I will never give up dancing completely, and I still teach. I have my own team, and I still dance, but I don't know where I wanted to finish that, but that's where that thought's gonna end. Don't let this injury be the deciding factor for the rest of your life, because injuries can happen to anyone. Just recover, do your physical therapy, listen to your doctors, take your vitamins, eat what you should be eating to help you recover, and I fully, wholeheartedly believe you can get back to where you were. It just takes a lot of work. But yeah, I hope this video was insightful to, that was a fly. I hope this video was insightful to anyone, especially any dancer that has experienced an ACL injury. If you have experienced an ACL injury, please comment down below and tell me about it. I'd love to hear and see where you're at and what your choices were, what type of surgery you had. And don't forget to check out my other videos. I talk about lots of different things. But yes, thank you so much for watching my video today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it and that you've taken something useful from today's video. Thank you. Bye-bye.